Guys, it is extremely hot out there, but guys, check it out. We are about to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Guys, I really do appreciate it. Y'all make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button, and let's go back to fixing this intersection. Welcome to the fascinating world of traffic signals. Today, we are responding to a call of a traffic light that's in flash. I'm here at our shop now, getting ready and getting some stuff loaded up that I might need at this intersection. So let's go ahead and get out there and see what the problem is. All right, and we are pulling up to the intersection that's in question. We got our flashers on. Let's get over here and pull it up to this cabinet. Let's get it open and let's take a look and see what the issue is here at this intersection. I was just out here the other night with one issue, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same issue. Cabinet open, and as you can see, we have a port 1 fail on the conflict monitor, which was the same failure we had the other night. And I came out here and I swapped out this controller, or I swapped out the controller that's in my truck for this one. It was running it just fine. Now we have another port 1 failure. Starting to believe it's not the controller, which is pretty typical when you have lightning strikes or other kind of damages. This port will get popped right here and you'll have issues from there. But at this point, I'm going to just replace all these SDLC cables and probably replace that hub right there. Got y'all strapped in. Let's get the phone out. Go ahead and snag my tools out of here. Now I'm pretty confident that this intersection will come out of flash if I hit the reset button. And it did. It's running like it should, but I don't trust all these cables, so I'm still gonna swap out all these cables. I'm gonna put the intersection back in flash. When I do so, I'll give it a few minutes. I'm gonna get everything out. New hub out, anything I need out of my truck. And should have plenty of these cables. This is the SDLC cables we'll need, and then pretty easy to remove that and then install a new one. So let's get right to it. Hub, got our SDLC cables out, got our new mountain brackets we can use, mountain bolts, whatever you want to call them. There is a little bit of corrosion. You know, it looks like maybe a little bit of burn marks right on this port here. And corrosion on it too, so maybe the hub. Probably just looking at it like a harness right now. All right, that's tight as well. May be able to aim y'all up a little bit more to what we got. Those are tight. Let's go ahead and just pull these SDLC cables out and pop this into the conflict monitor. All right, guys, we got all the SDLC cables ran, new SDLC cables, a new hub right here. There was a little bit of a burn mark in one of these ports, so maybe it was the SDLC hub causing an issue. I've never actually had a bad hub before. I've had a bad port on the hub, but I didn't go ahead and move around the ports or anything to see if it was just the port. Guys, loud truck. But we are gonna find out. We can take it out of flash now. It's gonna boot itself out of flash here in 3 seconds. See it count down, click, no faults. Intersection's back up and running like it should be. Yep, it's cycling like it should be. These are red, they're gonna change here in a second. It's gonna cycle and max out on every phase. Once it's done that, it's gonna start running off of detection again. Detection's still working, everything's working like it should. The cameras are working. See it putting in calls where it should be. So for now, probably gonna leave it like that and just say maybe a bad SDLC cable. Again, I just recently replaced this controller, and I really just don't think that was the issue then. If it was just the same port 1 failure back to back, 2 different controllers. It is typical for the port on the controller to burn out, but maybe it was just a bad cable, you know, first for everything for the most part. Not gonna say the first. I have had bad cables, but it's rare and few and far between that you have any bad SDLC cables or a bad hub. Something rare. But this hub, I do see corrosion on it. I see a little bit of corrosion in the screw holes and stuff, so maybe this just ended up outside or getting wet or something. And the pins on the back look fine. But who's to say? We'll see if this intersection goes back into flash, then we know we got a different issue. If this intersection stays out of flash and runs for a while, then seems like it solved it, and all we got to do is come back here and dress up a few things and get this thing cleaned up, because I do not leave our cabinets looking like this. A few of these things I can take out. That was from today, this trash. But gonna watch it cycle a few times, which I already have. I can see it cycle now, and it's running like it should. Let's get everything loaded back up into the truck. We'll just leave these cables in the cabinet for now. I don't want that bad hub. Let's load up our tool bag back into the truck. And before we even left, we just had the issue again. This controller just shut down on me right in front of me. Had the port 1 fail. It's gonna come back out of flash, but this thing shouldn't have just turned off. All right, as you can see, the controller just shut down again. Definitely seems to be some kind of issue with the power supply on it. We're gonna put the intersection into flash. It's still in flash now. I'm gonna go ahead and just start killing all the power out here. Lights are gonna be dark for 10 seconds, but traffic ain't bad out here right now while we do it. And let's just give this whole thing a good hard reset. And man, I got a controller in my truck, but I'm pretty sure it's the same controller that I already had issues with. May have to run back to our shop and get another controller. But let's go ahead and turn power back on to this intersection. Lights are back and flashing like they should be out there in the field. Everything's booting back on. Controller's coming back on. And now you're gonna have to sit here and wait. The CCU is gonna take a minute to boot itself back on. Always give it that first good hard power cycle before you start ripping out anything extra. It's crazy what turning it off and back on will do sometimes. Let's see if it helps it out. It is extremely hot out there, but guys, check it out. We are about to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can't believe it. I'm so excited, guys. I really do appreciate it. Y'all make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that like button, and let's go back to fixing this intersection. So I've gone ahead and I swapped out the controller. I put a different controller in there. It's running the intersection just fine. I haven't seen the issue go back into flash or anything else here for a solid 10-15 minutes. But a new issue, the TS2 on this CCU just dropped out. Might be an issue with the controller, but it's working just fine with the conflict monitor, so I don't see why it wouldn't be working just fine with the CCU. So I'm getting connected to the CCU right now. I'm gonna see what the issue is, if it's with this or if it's with the controller. But let's check it out. All right, so as you can see, the TS2 option is flashing again. It's working. When I checked it on the computer, it was just kind of showing that it wasn't connected to anything and it dropped out. Now this controller is still having an issue, and this is the one that just came out of the intersection. So it's turning off and back on. I might have to pull the power supply out of this. But whenever I did plug it back in, it was working. So now what I'm going to do is unplug it off of this controller, and I'm going to unplug this from the hub, which is gonna make the intersection go back into flash. So let's just go ahead and put the intersection in flash, pull this out right here, and then I'm going to plug the CCU directly into the port 1 and see if we get the TS2 option. Which we do. TS2 lit back up. It's gonna put in calls and work like it should. So now I believe we have an issue with the hub. I've already tried 2 different ports. But let's change it around again and see if we can't get this working. And if not, maybe I have to change out this hub that I just put into this intersection and put in a different one. So let me move stuff around and see if it works. All right, guys, so I have moved the cable around to different ports. It's working again. Let's go ahead and take the intersection out of flash. It's lit up here, so it should be putting in calls and working off of detection at this point. Now it is going to cycle for the first time without detection, and then it will go through and start using detection. It looks like it's lit up and working. This controller definitely just having issues with it, so, and then I don't know, we'll just always have a bunch of bad ones, I guess. But we'll just have to get this one sent out, or I'm gonna have to pull the power supply and see if we can't fix it ourselves. And this guy's working for now, so hopefully for the time being we'll just have this intersection running. It'll work like it should, and we'll come back to it and resolve some more issues if there are any more issues. But let's get away from this intersection. It's super hot. We're about to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm just super excited about that. So maybe let's try to get back home and actually enjoy that. So let's get to it. Step on ants. Go ahead and put the tools back. Get our laptop closed up. Just throw that back in the bag. Zip it up. Know it's a mess back here, guys. I do need to clean out the back seat. This guy's not even booting back on now. So definitely an issue with this controller here. All right, let's go ahead and close up this cabinet. The intersection is running just fine. It's been running for a solid 15 minutes. It's running off of detection now. It's all good. So if there is more issues here, then hopefully it happens during the work week when we get paid to actually be out in the heat. Because I don't get paid for this, and it's really hot. But let's get out of here, back to the house. Got a couple things we may work on the Jeep, so y'all may come and stay tuned for that. And again, thank y'all so much for 100,000 subscribers. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. Let's get to it.